This is a centering practice for being present, grounding in the physical world by doing a physical world scan. Our mind may be in past memories, future possibilities, either wanted or unwanted, or churning through ideas about life. Our senses can help ground us in the present moment. A physical world scan can be helpful for people with CPTSD, PTSD, chronic illness, dissociation, and anxiety. We will begin by bringing our attention to sound. Every sound we hear is helpful for grounding us in time and place. They are not distractions from this exercise. They are part of this exercise. Each sound we hear brings us back to the present moment. It is what we are hearing right here and right now. We can start by bringing our attention to the loudest sound. It may be the sound of my voice, or the sound of construction work, a flowing river, cars, appliances, a roommate snoring, a train, people talking, or children playing. Listen to all the sounds around you, picking out the loudest of them and focusing our attention on that. What qualities does that sound have? Is it high-pitched or low? Does it have a vibration to it that you can experience? Is it a combination of many sounds brought together into one, where you cannot discern the individual parts as well? You are alive and present in hearing that sound in this moment. This moment will never repeat itself in exactness. Every moment, no matter how beautiful or difficult, is unique. It will pass and a new moment will present itself. With each new moment that passes, you are present in that moment, alive in that moment, and you are grounding yourself in the sounds of that moment. Now, what is a sound that is quieter? Can you hear the sound of your breathing? The sound of birds? The wind? A building settling? Footsteps? Bring your attention to that sound. Really listen to that sound. Hear the ebbs and flows of it, the texture of that sound, how it is layered on other sounds. Now listen for the quietest sound you can. You may have to strain your ears. It may be a slight hum. It's a whisper of a sound, and if we're not paying attention, it could be lost to our awareness in this moment, but it was there all along. Now take a moment to hear all the layers of sound together as a whole, including the sounds that you are making, your breathing, your clothing as you shift, a chair that's maybe squeaking a bit. as you hold in your awareness those layers of sound, also hold in your awareness that you are here in this moment, listening to all of them. When you are ready, let us shift our attention to sight and visually take in what is holding us at this moment. Are we in a chair or on the ground? Does the object we are in connection with look hard or soft? Are we indoors or outdoors? Now, what do we see a foot in front of us? My husband had a painting mentor who encouraged him to paint the shapes. As we look in front of us, what colors do we notice? What objects do we see? What textures? And as our eyes scan that area in front of us, are we just noticing the physical world? Or when we look at the objects, are we adding layers of meaning, story, and history that are particular to our life? Attempt as best we can to just see the shapes. And when you're ready, let's move our attention to 3 feet in front of us. What colors do we notice? What objects do we see? What textures do we see? Again, remembering, as best we can, to just see the shapes. Now let us look straight ahead to the farthest our eyes can see. Do they stop at a literal wall? A wall of shrubs? Or does everything get increasingly smaller to our eye until we cannot make out what we are seeing? Whatever the furthest point is, look and notice. What colors do you see? What shapes do you notice? What textures? Now look at the lowest point on earth that we can see. Is it the floor of our room? The road outside our window? A valley below? What colors do we notice? What shapes do we see? What textures do we notice? And when you are done scanning the lowest place your eyes can see, let's raise our eyes to the highest point above us. Is it a ceiling? How high above us is it? What is there? Do we see lights? Cobwebs? Textures? Color? Is it the sky? What color is it? Are there clouds? Are there stars? Birds? Tree branches crossing our view? Now let's notice the quality of the light. Is the light natural or artificial? Is it still or is it dancing? How luminescent is it? Is it very bright, muted, or dark? Does the light we are experiencing create a lot of contrast with bright light and then dark shadows? Or is everything fairly evenly lit or evenly cast in a shadow? Is the light changing because of the time of day or the current weather? Does the brightness of the light we are experiencing reflect the time of day? Finally, when you are ready, try to take in the space as a whole. You are one part of this physical world, one part that is surrounded by many other sounds, vibrations, colors, textures, and light. Wherever you are, whenever you need to, you can come back into the present moment by grounding in the physical world. Take care and know that you are not alone.